All right, welcome. Hey, everybody. Happy Sunday. Thanks for popping on the call. I wanted to jump on today and connect with all of you about this beautiful, powerful, intense energy as we are shifting, as Pluto is moving into Aquarius. And it all conjuncts in this incredible way where you may find yourself going through a major transition right now on some level, maybe not recognizing that the stars are bringing us so many beautiful blessings right now. So I am going to bring Raphael in. We're going to do a little channeling this today. I am on a water fast, and I'm on day 5 of just water. And it's been mostly great so far. Today I'm feeling a little weak, to be honest with you. So I'm going to keep the call a little short, but I would still wanted to connect with everybody and tune into Raphael and see what comes in, and maybe as we do that, the energy might even be stronger. I have nothing in my vessel getting in the way from spirit coming in and sharing with all of us. What else did I want to share with you? The next code is the healing code. And as you know, I channel the angel Raphael, which is the angel of healing. And we're going to work on healing the physical body through the emotional body, and also work with a lot of beautiful star brothers and sisters and energies that will be coming in to assist us in the healing. And then the emotional piece of really clearing any emotional trauma that is still held in the body and in the DNA, and then really going down and working with the indigenous energy. And we'll have some speakers come on and talk about different ways to really eliminate the toxicity physically, emotionally, and spiritually within our bodies so that we are clear vessels of light as we're moving into this incredible shift that's happening. Okay, you might notice my energy is a little low. I'm doing my best. So let's all get in a really sweet and tender space of gentleness and just drop into your heart and take a nice deep breath. And I'm going to turn off the mic and tone, and I will be right back. Okay. Oh, hello.
Hello,
Hello, hello,
hello, hello,
hello.
hello.
We are very delighted to be here today and to attune to all of you and your energy as you are moving through this momentous time and change and shift that is occurring and taking place on the planet. And if you are tuning into your being and your body, you will recognize that many things are coming into your experience to support you in preparing for the year ahead, in increasing the light within your energetic field and expanding your light body. For this is a pivotal time in your history and a moment to take inventory of where it is that you are in this now moment, and reflection, deep mirrored looking into the looking glass and the lakes in the waters and the reflection of your energetic field and being, and noticing where perhaps there are energies that are out of sort or are in discordant vibrations, and to know that this is the moment to seize in the opening up the space that is needed to tune in and to pay attention to reevaluate and to look at and to prioritize what is of value to you and where it is that you are moving and where it is that you are wanting to be as you are bringing in and cultivating all the vibrations and energies necessary for you at this time to move into this new phase. And you are wanting to attune to the vibrations and connections with Pluto and its energy that is arriving in Aquarius. The energy of Aquarius, the beauty that it holds is very different than the vibrations up until recently you have been experiencing. And of course, it came in and began to align yesterday, but it is not something that occurs in one day. It occurs over time. And although it will have moments of shifting, ultimately it will be in place for 2 decades, for more than 20 years. And because of that, this is going to shift things dramatically, meaning the world in which you are accustomed to and that you have known and been so familiar with on so many levels is going to take a dramatic change. And although you have been experiencing that already with the many of the illusions disappearing and the seeing behind things and being able to move into a new place of reevaluating and questioning with your own curiosity, this has been a preparation for all of you to begin to see with new eyes, to hear with new ears, to look in a new way, and to feel into your human experience. And so many things that have been in place that you have taken as an absolute will come to the surface and will be questioned, and new information will be arriving. And this new information will shatter and shake up some institutions, some scientists, some ways of perception that have been so embedded in the collective consciousness as true, and not in a negative way, or that it was detrimental necessarily, or that it was done in a way that it was purposely in deception, but it is simply that energies are going to arrive in new ways where these portals around the earth have expanded. And in their expansion, this energy that is arriving and coming in at this time is shining this plasmic light upon places that have not been seen before, that you will bear witness to the unveiling of many things. And so it will be a debunking, in a way, of old paradigms and structures as they will collapse. For it is a time of the people and freedom and sovereignty rising. And so, with that, as we have shared with you before, it will be a year of great extremes. And what we mean by that is there will be eruptions in the earth and in the energies, but there will also be eruptions in the people as they mirror and reflect these vibrations, where they will be protesting and there may be conflict. But simultaneously, there will be these beautiful and amazing discoveries and advancements in learning and teaching, in science, in vibration, in medicine, and also in your own capacity to be able to connect beyond the veil, beyond the paradigm of your current way of being, and to communicate with your beings that are arriving in large numbers and are very present for this assistance that they are giving you as you're ascending into higher frequencies. And so many visions, capacities, experiences will become enhanced and stronger in many ways. And you will be returning and attuning deeply to the elements and the qualities of their vibration as they speak and share information and love and codes with you to activate and turn on your DNA. And many children will be arriving and being born at this time who will be carrying this full spectrum of self and capacities that will be have enormous impact on the collective consciousness. And so this is a time for you to choose to explore, to expand, to reevaluate, to look into, to clear your body, your mind, and your spirit. And so, with that, is there something you are wanting to ask?
So, Raphael, thank you so much for the update of this new paradigm that we're moving into. And so, my question comes around as all of this shifts, it can sometimes be a little unsettling, and we may find ourselves ungrounded, and we might find ourselves having a hard time trusting and being open to receiving all of the other gifts that are present during this time. What do you recommend for people in order to stay grounded, to keep the trust going, and to remain open?
Oh, well, we have this one, just drinking water. And it may appear a bit extreme, but it is essential in the clearing of the physicality and the debris and the toxins in the body, opening up the clearing in the emotional form and attuning in higher dimensions to the spirit world. And of course, we're not saying that all of you should be doing that, but it is very, very important to pay attention to your human temple, because the human temple or body is your vessel while you are moving at this time through space here in this dimension. And as certain extremes, as you look at them in their polarized frequency, some you will label as beautiful, magnificent, extraordinary, overwhelmingly fantastic, and others you will be concerned about and you will worry perhaps about or delve into. We don't recommend doing that, but to be a curious witness to it. But at times you may get pulled into its energy and vibration, and its unsettlingness can knock you over. And so being in the 0 point is essential. And how do you get in the 0 point? You move into the heart center. How do you get into the heart center? It is vital that there is great clarity. How do you receive clarity and connectedness? You clear away the any debris on all levels that is in the way. And so on the physical level, the receiving of water is essential. There is much happening with the water, and we can go into that deeply in the water code, but the water is communicating with you more than ever. It has always been communicating with you, but your capacity, for she is working diligently to be supportive to all of you and you to it in the healing of the water and in the water healing you in this relationship that we encourage you to really cultivate and attune to and love and connect to and not take it for granted. Taking things for granted is something that will be of the past. As these changes come in, it will bring you more into a state of awe of the glory, the blessings, the beauty, the exquisite experiences that are around you and open to you to feel and to enjoy. But bringing in food that is been outside and experiencing the light without being moved a lot around or shipped a lot or changed or packaged in any way is essential. That you return to the earth and that your food is blessed and that it is coming from the highest frequencies and sources that are available to you, as you also then tell others that this is important. And by doing this, you are beginning to expand this energy that is needed now. For much of the land in many places on the earth is deserted and filled with chemicals. And these chemicals are in the water, and the water is having a hard time with it. And as you choose to change over in the way in which you eat and perceive, the water thanks you for that. And so cleaning the body and seeing it truly as a sacred temple that you honor, and looking at it and attending to it. It is many in the spiritual realms and healers and empaths find themselves in the heavens, in the celestial realm. And this is a beautiful place to be, but it can be at times a way of disconnecting from the physical form. And the physical form will be essential, that it is clean and pristine and clear and prepared to receive these codes that are coming so rapidly so that you can keep up to it. The beginning of the year has been gentle. It is allowing you to assimilate these energies as they are coming in, to take some time to nurture self, perhaps to travel, for loose ends to be tied up. But as you start to move into this year, the energy is going to build. It's going to accelerate. And it's going to move very, very quickly. And so you're not necessarily wanting to keep pace with that energy that's moving so quickly. It'll be important for you to choose your own pace and to slow down and to absorb it as you can. But the clearer and the more centered and the more connected that you are, the easier it will be to assimilate these shifts and changes.
So what you're saying is that as all of these changes happen around us, the most important thing that we can stay focused on is keeping our vessel clear with clean food, with exercise, with gratitude and meditation, so that we can be open to receiving the energy and simultaneously not feeling pushed by it, but setting our own pace at our own time.
Yes, and it is that the emotional body as well. If your vessel is clear, the emotions that have been stored in the cells will rise, and you will have an opportunity to allow them to pass through, to be cleared. Any trauma stored on a deep cellular level must be released. Now, it does not necessarily have to be released in a conscious, full way of delving deep into the story, but a willingness to allow it to rise and to let go through practice of mindfulness and etc. All things
Mm.
that you are aware of. And as I come in, working with all of you on the healing code, I'm going to support you in doing that, in healing that aspect. And then there will be energies that you will have a connection to from the star systems and from deep within the earth, both that will be of great assistance in these healing practices and these upgrades, because they will be seeding within you energies that are now being allowed to return to the surface. You see, there are openings happening now. And so this revolutionary energy will be very intense, as it was last time that Pluto was in Aquarius as in your this country here, like the American Revolution, and times where there was an uprising and many changes taking place. But there is also from the revolutionary vibration, there is an evolution that occurs that may just simply from outside appearances occur in the human psyche, but is occurring on a deeper level. And you will be evolving literally as a species into a new octave, a new strand, a new vibration in conjunction and in alignment and in partnership with the earth as both you and the earth ascend into these frequencies. But many will feel overwhelmed by this and who are not aware of what is happening. And there will be a lot of mental illness or even suicide and upset. But if you are aware and centered and able to see the beauty and the perfection in what is occurring as a loving witness to it, you will excel during this time, and many, many blessings will arise, allowing you to plug into these frequencies and to ride them like a beautiful wave. But if you are in resistance to them, and not able to allow yourself to flow with the energy, the wave will feel overwhelming like a tsunami, and you will feel underwater, meaning depressed or anxious or unable to cope. And that is why it is essential that the things that you can get in place, such as your physical vessel, your emotional body, your schedule, de-stressing, putting things in order so that you can move in a very conscious way through what's happening, then there will be a lot to experience and to absorb in the beauty and the perfection of these shifts because, as we had said before, they much of it will be so beautiful, and you will then choose to focus on the beauty and the magic and the synchronicity and the love that is arising. And the more you will focus on that, of course, as you're well aware, the more those energies in your paradigm and reality will expand as you are expanding to receive them within your holographic field. For your sphere then becomes the mirrored reflection of where that attention and energy is placed. But the energy and attention cannot be placed there if you are distracted by outside energies that are cultivating drama and suffering that is easy through the traditional channels to get caught in those mechanisms, in which case that might create difficulty for you. And
Mm,
so it is essential that you plan in accordance to holding, as we say, hold it, hold it, your vision of what it is in service for humanity and the earth, and your focus from a larger perspective, and that you continue to maintain as beings of light who are conscious creators to focus on that and to delve into that. There will be such a leap in technology, in many things, that it will be very important for there to be a minimum of at least 5 hours during the waking day where you are disconnected from your phone or technology in any sort, and you find yourself in nature or solitude or drawing or painting or singing or dancing, and returning to much more practices of beingness. And you might say, well, is that even possible? For I work every day from 9 to 5 and I have to use these things, etc. And we say, yes, we understand. But on the hours that are free, this is not a time to re-engage in that, but to nurture your spirit. And very old-fashioned work days will disappear in no time. Old collective ways of being and operating and systems and structures will collapse. This will be harder for the elder population to adjust to, easier for young people as they are already sensing this and find themselves moving quickly in an exploratory way to embrace and indulge in as many human experiences as possible. But for those who have been embedded in certain belief systems, that are perhaps even in their mid 70s to older, will have difficulty with this process. And so we want you to be very patient with them and understanding and help them and hold their hand through this time of change.
Thank you, Raphael. That's all very helpful. And I think what's on a lot of people's minds right now are as we move through this time, and you spoke about others might really suffer through this period of time with the not only mental illness, but probably physical illness as well. And as we stay centered and stay focused, what can we do to support others who might not have chosen this level of consciousness during this time that are our loved ones?
Well, it is that physical illness, as you might have noticed, is on the rise.
Mhm.
And many people are finding themselves, even young people, coping with that. And of course, it is a reflection of the illness on the earth and in the waters and in the soil and in the air and other things. But we invite you to be a living example for them, not to preach to them, not to give advice to them, not to tell them what to do. And many will choose very conventional methods for their choice of healing. And in that, you can love them through their process and their journey. But being an example of a clear, healthy, vital being is the all that it is that you can do. In their own curiosity to emulate or to attune to that vibration may lead them to ask how you are there. So you can only be of responsibility for your own human temple. And in doing so, that frequency in itself is very healing for others.
And so, how do we stay in our temple, in that groundedness, in that love, and that joy when the ones that we love are suffering around us?
Oh, well, it is not easy. They are around you because they are an extension of you, a part of you on some level. And it is a deep need through that to continue to elevate your own frequency, to put on your oxygen mask, to take care of yourself and to emulate that vibration because the energies are changing in a way that things are merging together more and more. And so, one who is operating in a very high frequency, literally, there will become a time, and many avatars and beings that have connected and received great blessings from the higher realms are capable now through certain work and touch to create miraculous healing. And this will grow exponentially. And it is simply being in their frequency that creates a shift within the molecular structure on a deep cellular and emotional level of those who are what you would call in a deeper state of suffering or illness. And so it might seem counterintuitive because you want to help them, you want to fix them, you want to make it better. And of course, you can do some of those things, but it is bringing yourself into this glowing state of light that then opens up pathways that, when they are in your frequency, they are affected and sometimes instantly healed. And it also opens a doorway of curiosity and wondering, as we were saying, within them, and possibilities of ideas, healers, modalities, ways of working with vibration and new energies that are arriving that may have not come into their awareness or consciousness. Doorways will begin to open to for them to connect to. There will be such an advancement in medicine, in technology, in vibrational healing. It is a dying field, and it will be emerging into something spectacular as this science will come forward with so much teachings and understanding. And much of this, to be honest, is coming from higher realms and is seeping through the veil into your experience. And so, yes, it is to elevate your frequency. And in that, you hold the vibration that emanates out of your field into their field as they are connected to you.
And so, Raphael, can you talk more about how, as medicine evolves and we move into these vibrational and energetic modalities, how that will impact the body, and what is it that we need to do in order to have discernment around choosing these different healers, modalities, machines, and so forth?
Yes, well, discernment is everything and will be essential, of course. And so the clearer you are in your vessel, whether that be through your food or fasting and meditation and breath work and movement and fascia, etc., and water, all of those things, the clearer you are, the easier it is to discern because you can see clearer. And so that's why clarity will be so deeply important, because you will need to literally put up your hand to something attuned to its frequency and to see if you are in resonance with it. And if you are in resonance, you will move forward. And if you are not, you will move back. And so the ability to be deceived by others will dissipate as you accelerate your frequency.
And so, what is it that we need to focus on clearing that clouds our discernment most commonly, especially amongst people who might be in our group?
A wanting to have belief in something that is not true is one. Holding on to a story that is being presented, an illusion of sorts, where there is a lot of profit to be made, that comes from a place underneath that is not stable and rooted in service, but operated out of simply gains for self.
Mm,
And so when one combines opening up space to receive abundance, but simultaneously within their heart is of service and deeply a wanting to care for and love those that they are working with, that is a specific frequency versus one who is hiding behind a facade simply for their own personal needs. And that will be something that will be needed to see. Many stories can be created um, to fool others in order for them to be taken up by something that is not based in a place that is vibrating in a frequency that is in alignment with truth.
mm. And so let me ask you another question, and because I know that there are a lot of people here in our group who do combine those two things that want to, even ourselves, like we combine this, we're making abundance while serving other people. And while we think, some of us might even deceive ourselves in the belief that we are in it for it, but there is a part that is self-motivated, that isn't as pure as it can be. How do we cultivate that purity and that intention for service as much as possible without falling into our own illusion?
Oh, taking regular inventory and asking where the desire is arising from. And simultaneously, as we were speaking, opening up space to clear, the clearer you are, the more you begin to vibrate with and attune to how you can provide and align with energies that are impactful for many. And so it is a continuous work in progress, like all things. But as long as the intent is clear and the intent is true and the intent is alive with love, then yes, you may fall in and out of the human experience and etc. But that intent is essential. It is the seed and that is planted in the origin of whatever it is you are doing or moving forward with.
And then another, detail that I want to unpack on that same thing is sometimes we're so concerned about doing it just for the service that we don't open ourselves up to the abundance,
Yes.
right? And so what can we do about
Exactly.
that as well?
It is a balance. Well, that comes from unworthiness. There must be an exchange of energy always. Otherwise, that which you are sharing and giving, unless you are already in a lot of abundance in a different way. So sometimes you are in so much abundance already and feel so blessed that part of your work or service is to give without receiving abundance, and that's okay. But if you're in lack in any way, and you are giving from a place of lack, you're not really truly giving, and you're not vibrating at a place of worthiness, which cannot elevate you to the frequency of service in the way that you are wanting. And so there must be a movement of some kind of energy that moves back and forth, and to open up to the expansive energy of vibration just flowing through you is a willingness for the energy to be cultivated that you are connecting to just flow through you, and it not necessarily seeing those energies as separate, but as one. And because they are the same, they're just energies. And the wider your capacity in the receiving of this spirit flow and connection to your I am that I am presence, highest self, and other realms is, the more expanded you are in the vessel of receiving abundance, because they it might appear separate, but they are one in the same.
Yes. And what do you have to say to people who are in the healing process or in the process of building a business or looking to shift their life in abundance and they just feel like they can't have like breakthroughs haven't been happening? What is it that they should be, and it's been a while, and they feel like they've been trying everything that they possibly can. Again, they've seen tons of healers, or they've done all the practices, or they've done all these things, and there's a bit of disheartened, they're slightly disheartened. What do you say to those people?
Well, it is the part, and we understand that there's this need to find the solution,
Mm.
seek out the healer, to see the million people, to take the million classes, to look for the answer. And if that at times those things are all assisting you and elevating you to the next vibration and supporting you, but at other times, they're hindering you from truly taking the time to be silent to go within, to get a cabin in the woods for a month or a week and just be with some paper and pen and perhaps some water, to just go inside. And so, if they've tried everything, we would encourage them to stop trying so hard, stop seeking so much, and to really embody what they have already received fully, to immerse themselves in what is already known, and to seek the understanding that whatever it is that they are searching for does reside inside them. It always has been there and it always shall be. And sometimes with the support of a healer or a particular modality or a connection to something allows you to see and to open the door that was so shut to find your way into that inner knowing. But the answer always is right there.
Thank you so much, Raphael. And I know that today we're going to cut it short. And what I'd like to really end with today is a describing of the beauty that can be of in this shift as we're moving into this new paradigm with Pluto and all of that astrology that's happening. How could the world look different for us than it does today? And can you paint just a beautiful picture for us to hold and to envision and to, as you say, hold it, hold the vision of?
Aha. It's an interesting question because the earth will look different depending on the lens in which you have, depending upon what you choose to see, depending on where you choose to focus. And so, if there was a global way of all elevating simultaneously, as we have said before, your weapons would be put down, the borders would no longer be, the judgments would decease, the connection to the earth would be prioritized, the money system would change, the equality would rise, the love in your hearts would expand, the attunement to the galactic and inner worlds would be known and present for all. The way in which you perceive and move through time and space would be in awe of the beauty that Mother Earth brings to you each and every day with deep reverence and love. And yet, that is something that you get to choose each day to see in your current moment, in this now moment, or you get to focus or choose to see something other than that. And as you continue to expand your vision and widen your frame to attune to the beauty that resides within even the simplest of things, you then expand that frequency in your own holographic field, which, like bubbles of light, merge upon and attune to others, creating a grid across the planet that rains down this love for all. But it is dependent on your own perception. And it is not something that magically will appear before you as if a moment will occur and all things will be that way. It has to rise from within. And so, with that, and for now, I send to you all of my blessings and all of my love, and good day.
Good day.
Wow. Mm. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for popping in today. I love you all so much. You're so wonderful and beautiful. And for those in my membership, I'll see you in the morning. We're doing our creation process, and the next light code is the healing code, which is divinely timed and in mid-February, and you can register for that. Should be in your email. So I love you all so much. Thank you, Casey, for asking such poignant and beautiful questions. Everybody have a fabulous weekend. And I'll see you next Sunday. If you have questions about the next code, the healing code, we're going to be working with the galactic energy, with deep emotional clearing in the emotional body and physical clearing. And we have some guests coming on, so it'll be beautiful. All right. I think we're good. All right. Love, love, love. Mwah. I'll be